Well, with that being said, we are live for our pre-market analysis. Everyone, good morning. Thanks for tuning in. And everyone on YouTube, smash that like button and that subscribe button so you can check us out and follow us every single day. We're just making money and printing money over here at Stack. So let's get started. Tilray. Tilray, guys, what a freaking stock. Everyone's running high on it. And it closed yesterday at $42, gapping up to 56. It held that pre-market support of around $48 to $50, which is what I was really looking at to see if we could find support on Tilray. Bounced right off of it, especially at the 7 o'clock hour when all the brokers open up for pre-market trading. At least the majority of the brokers, right? The traditional ones like Merrill Edge, Thinkorswim, etc., E-Trade. So, Tilray is flagging right now, and the way I see it is this. If we could see Tilray break out of like the 57 mark, put your stops at 56, right? Bottom of this bull flag here. Assuming this bull flag holds by the time the market opens. If it does trade lower, I want to see Tilray kind of hold the $54 mark. If it holds that $54 mark and starts to create like a bottoming curl, comes back around, we can go long, put our stops at like 53 or 52, right? We just have to wait for the proper entry point. Tilray's running really hot. Don't let FOMO dictate your trading today, please. And remove the mindset that this is the next GameStop. Because if that's how you're going to trade today, I'd rather not know that you're trading that way. So please don't even tell me because I'll get upset. I just really want to protect you guys. Like, I don't want anybody to lose money recklessly, right? That's the whole reason why I say that. And I know Taj feels the same way. So we just got to wait for the right entry point and we'll be good to go. All right? So that's what I see on Tilray. Futu. Futu is running hot as well. Let me throw it over here. So Futu is gapping up significantly. Closed yesterday at 154. It's trading at 183.86 right now, flagging on the day. So if Futu wants to rip higher, it needs to break 184.50 for me to go long, but then you're going to have to put your stops at about 182. So you're talking about a $2.50 risk on Futu, all right, on this bull flag. If Futu breaks below 182, I want to see it specifically hold the 178, 179 range. If it doesn't hold that, I may look to go in for a short on Futu, all right? This is a big gap up on it. I wouldn't mind seeing some profit taking on the stock before seeing like a reversal going long. But if this stock just tumbles, then I'm going to look for a short entry on Futu. All right. Another name that I really like, Microsoft. It's also a swing call that Santi made this morning. Pull up a daily chart on Microsoft. Microsoft looks beautiful for a breakout. If it breaks out at 245, go long Microsoft. It's as simple as that. This Microsoft looks like a beautiful setup. I'll go long Microsoft if it breaks out at 245, put my stops at 244. I'll risk a whole dollar on the trade, right, to give it a little bit of wiggle room and just break it out into all-time highs. I could see some price targets on this are like, let me see here, 252, 249 and 252, right, on a swing perspective. So, but from a day trade perspective, this thing can really have a nice rip. The overall market reacted really nicely with the economic news that came out. You can see the S&P 500, the NASDAQ, and the Russell 2000 had a nice pop in it at 8:30. So this is good economic news that can add some fuel to the fire. Markets are gapping up into all-time highs. So this bull run is moving, and it's a freight train. It's not stopping. So keep an eye on the S&P 500 as well. It's flagging on the SPY. If it breaks out at 392.45, you can go long with 393 calls, right? Put your stops at 392. You're risking that's a 50-cent risk on the trade, right? If you want a nice, easy, ETF trade. But from another stock perspective, I also am going to keep an eye on Gamestop. GameStop is always going to be in play until that thing goes back to zero. So I'll wait for a short entry, or if it breaks out at $53, I'll go long GameStop. So those are the two. That's the long idea. And the short idea, if it breaks below 50.50, I'm going in short. Another name that I like is Lyft. Lyft is gapping up from earnings. The way I see it is this. If it fails $59, go in for a short. You can put your stops at $59.50. That's a 50-cent risk on the trade. If it breaks above $59.50, go long. My first target would be 60.20. Second target 61. Third target 62. That's what I see on Lyft. My last one that I'll cover is where is this other one? Twitter. I was watching Twitter in pre-market, and I love that it was holding that like 63 range and just broke out. This thing is ripping into all-time highs. Pull up a daily chart on this. Not too long ago, this stock was trading at $47, right? And look at what happened on those like early January. It set up a nice inverse head and shoulders formation right here. Shoulder number one, shoulder number two, head. That inverse head and shoulders formation, and look at the breakout out of 48. Boom! That is a freaking trade, and I am so mad that I didn't take that. But, needless to say, during that time we were making money in other areas of the market, so I can't be too mad at myself. Anyways, from a day trade perspective, the way I see it is this. It needs to really hold that 64, 65 range. If it breaks out of 65, 66, man, we can go long, put our stops at 65. You're risking 66 cents on the trade. All right? So that's what I see there. Someone's asking about Snap. To be honest, I have not even seen Snap today. There's so many opportunities today. Let's see. Snap. Yeah, Snap looks, it's gapping up, low volume. Let me just take a quick look on the daily. Okay. So bull flagging on the daily looks pretty good. Okay, so look, if Snap rips past 63.55, you can go long. Put your stops at 63.30. You're risking 25 cents on the trade. Not too bad. Really tight consolidation. Risk reward seems pretty good. It can run in sympathy with other social media stocks like Twitter. So not too bad, man. I don't mind that. I won't personally have it on my A list. I've got many other names on my A list, but that is not a bad idea. Mara. I'm going to keep an eye on Mara. It's trading down because of Bitcoin. Bitcoin is selling off a little bit. So I'm just going to keep an eye on this. Right now it's bear flagging. So if Mara wants to sell off a little bit more, if it breaks below 35, we can go in for a short. Put your stops at 35.75. But if this wants to rip and breaks out at 36, I'm going long, putting my stops at 35.50. That's a 50-cent risk on the trade. Keep an eye on the Bitcoin price, though, because this does trade in correlation with Bitcoin. So I'll be keeping that on my A list. So I'll just repeat. My A list is Mara, Futu, Twitter, Microsoft, and Lyft. That's my A list. So Taj, I'll pass it on to you, bro. And Tilray.
Tilray.
Wow. Look at Tilray. $60, $61.
So, I literally go to my girlfriend. I'm like, hey, go take profit right now on Tilray because this is excessive. This is getting a little parabolic here. I'm not sure what let's see, Tilray.
Daily RSI is at 93.7.
93.7. Let me tell you something, guys. The first chance I get to short this, the first sign of a short that I see on Tilray,
Me too.
I'll be taking it.
Yep.
I will be taking it because this is excessive. Huge move. I mean, just look at the daily chart. Yesterday we closed above the Bollinger Band, and guess what happens today? We are gapping out to another planet from the Bollinger Band. This is the Earth's atmosphere, the Bollinger Band. We're like out near Pluto. This is insane. The gap up that's happening. We're gapping up, guys. We're gapping up almost 50%. 50% gap up off of yesterday's closing price. So this is it's excessive. I will definitely Tilray is going to be a very fun stock to trade today.
Yep.
Don't force anything, but I think we're going to have some really great opportunities. So this is going to be at the very, very, very top of my list. I will have tunnel vision on Tilray for a good majority of the day.
Yeah, me too. Me too.
Now, with that being said, I will watch some of the other pot names. ACB, Aurora Cannabis, is going to be a good one. It's having a more reasonable rally, right? It's trading at about $18, gapping up 3 points. And it's actually forming a nice bull flag. So we could see here on ACB, granted, if it doesn't happen like right now, which is about to, we could play it long at 1875, throw our stops around 1840. It's literally about to break out right now, 1 penny away. And that's a nice bull flag breakout. What's nice about these names is they're all hot, right? The pot stocks are hot. So, price targets on a lot of these names are going to be, hey, watch level 2.
Yep.
Watch level 2 where it could go because you're breaking out of any type of resistance on the name. Where's resistance on Tilray? I don't know. There was resistance here at 46 and some change. We're well above that. Well above it. So there's going to be plenty of room for that to run. ACB is a symbol. Yep. Another one I saw you guys talking about earlier, and I do like the setup, is APHA. Wow, Tilray is going to $63 right now. Really nice gap up as well. Pretty big gap up, and it's actually breaking out of a bull flag. I saw earlier, I was going to say, hey, if we break above 30.70, 30.60, we can look to play it long with stops at 30, but it's breaking out right now. So what we're going to have to do is once the market opens, we can't be in a rush to get into these names, right? Let's let it mellow out, have some price discovery, and we need to find that proper entry because, look at Tilray. Where do you play it long? Or where do you play it short, right? You'd be trying to pick the top if you just try to play it short right out of the gate. So definitely be patient with these names. Another name I wanted to watch, where is it? Boeing. So the reason I wanted to watch Boeing is this is going to be on my B list, but look at the daily chart on Boeing. I know mine's a little cluttered because I have some drawings here. Let me go ahead and get rid of some of these. Remove drawing.
Yeah, the daily looks good.
The daily, you're starting to get some breakout happen here on Boeing. I was stuck in this consolidation for a few days. Now you have the 8 MA crossing the 20 on the daily chart, and it's starting to hook up. And Boeing is a name that's been beaten down for quite some time. Pretty much through the whole pandemic. This was once, $300-something stock. And it's just now starting to find some good footing, right? We're starting to get some moves to the upside. So could this be the rally on Boeing? Let's see. We're gapping up about $1. And there's really no resistance on Boeing until like the 220, 224, 225.
Yep.
So Boeing has a lot of potential, which is why, just like Tilray the other day, just like Neo yesterday, right? Just keep an eye on it, have it on your B list, have it off to the side to check up on it every now and then. If we start trading back above yesterday's high, 216.73, let's throw it on our A list, right? Let's look for some opportunities to get long Boeing. SNDL, that is also another name that I like. Oh, it's breaking out again. Mm-hmm. I was going to say it had a bull flag earlier. You could have played the break of 211, throw your stops at, 204, 203. You're talking an 11-cent risk.
Yeah.
And, not even. You're talking a 7-cent risk. And look what it just did now. That's 12 cents. That's a 2-to-1 trade right out of the gates. So, again, that's another name we're going to have to be a little patient with to really find a reasonable entry. Another name that I want to keep an eye on is one of the plays that we had really nice returns on yesterday. Was one of the standout trades, and that's Neo. The reason I want to watch Neo is because, just like we talked about yesterday, which direction is Neo going to go? At some point, this stock is going to erupt, right? And yesterday felt like the beginning of that eruption. You had the moving averages and the bowling brands all starting to meet one another at one price level, right? They were all starting to squeeze one another. And yesterday, we had that eruption to the upside. Now, Neo is currently gapping down a little bit, but yesterday was an extremely strong day for Neo. and I'm looking at the daily chart. There's resistance here at 64.52. Yesterday's high was 63.10. So if we clear yesterday's high, I do expect us to test 64.52. And if we break out at 64.52, Neo's testing all-time highs, $67. And remember, guys, pot stocks are hot, but let Neo get on a roll. And let's see what happens. Yep. Remember, Neo meets all the criteria that we mentioned prior about Tilray before Tilray ran on its run. Tilray is a former runner, right? There's a lot of hype around it. There's a lot of legislation being pumped into it as well, as far as support for the industry as a whole, right? Same thing with Neo. It's the same exact thing. It's the sleeping giant, just like Tilray was when we talked about it here at $12 and $13, right? So let's keep an eye on it, because I think Tilray has a lot of potential if it can start breaking out into that all-time high at $67. So Neo is definitely going to be on my A/B list. I want to keep a very close eye on it, because I think a lot of people are going to be just sleeping on it for the most part. Yeah, stops for Neo. Yeah, $62. If we get the long, first I want to see, for me personally, I want to see it break 63.10. If it does that right out of the gates, you can throw your stops at the low of the day and just ride it up. Tilray, oh my goodness, bro, $66. Wow, this is
yeah. So we gotta wait for an entry point on that. Don't rush into it, guys.
FCEL. Yeah, I really like FCL. I know this is one Carlos has been mentioning a lot lately, and it's been on a nice run as well. The way I see it, it just recently broke out of a bull flag. So what we could do is, if it breaks out of that high of day, 29.60, we can play it long and throw stops at around 29.30, 29.20. Again, this is another stock that's been hot lately, and there's just been so many opportunities across the board, you know. And FCL is another one. We haven't even been trading it that often because of some of these other names that are really moving. But other than that, I mean, some of the other names on the B list, General Motors, GM, they reported their earnings. It gapped down quite a bit. I think they had some negative news come out, if I'm not mistaken, about, was it GM or somebody? Somebody had some negative news that I saw on the stocks and IPOs. Chips, yeah, that's what it was, Marcos. So keep an eye on this. GM, it does have a pretty wide range. If it starts trading back to $57, we can look for a long. However, if it starts breaking back down below around $55, $50, $54, $55 specifically, we can play a short. Those stops around 56. But for the most part, guys, I would say today is a day to just keep an eye on primarily the A-list names. There are a lot of A-plus stocks today. And then the B-list stocks, just kind of keep them all to the side. Boeing, kind of keep it off to the side. GM as well. But really pay close attention to, the Tilray, ACBs, FCEL could go into that as well. As well as Gamestop. Always keep a close eye on Gamestop, APHA, and the overall market as a whole. So that's pretty much my list for the most part. Like I said, I'll be zoned in on Tilray. Yeah. It's one of my favorite stocks of the year, so I gotta get my hands on.
No, this thing is it's an animal. It's smelling like GameStop. So that's not my expectation, but it's smelling like it already. So we're gonna be on it. We're gonna be on it. So all right. So for everyone on YouTube, thanks for tuning in. Trade responsibly, trade safely. We'll see you guys tomorrow.